Why do people forget Puerto Ricans are Americans? If Puerto Rico were an actual state, it'd likely be different. Because they are a territory and we get taught that there are only 50 states. I almost forgot about one time when I was joking with someone from there too. When people think of America, they just think of the 50 states, which is a shame because there are like 4 people living in the territories that are just kind of there. I am sure Guam, the US Virgin Islands, American Samoa, and the Northern Mariana Islands would also like a word. Which of those have most people from the mainland and PR never heard of? I think part of it is that when asked, their response doesn't tend to be, "I'm American." It tends to be, "I'm Puerto Rican." After Hurricane Maria, when thousands of Puerto Ricans came to Florida for safety, a boomer in my neighborhood said, "All these effing Puerto Ricans need to go back to their own country." We were shocked. But then we explained to her that PR had been part of America longer than Hawaii and Alaska. Nobody knows in America Puerto Rico's in America America. From West Side Story, words by Stephen Sondheim, year 1957. I've been married to a PR for 25 years. My dad still calls her a Mexican despite me explaining it countless times. I guess if you don't care, you want care to learn. Ever heard of the Chamorros? Guam, US territory that was occupied by Japan during the invasion of Pearl Harbor. Strategic refuel, committed atrocities to the people. They aren't even mentioned in the history books, even though we had the Battle of Guam with our US troops to save them. Guam, where America's day begins. Your average American? Lack of awareness, your average politician? They didn't forget. I think it's because a lot of people think of Puerto Rico as a country when it's actually a territory. Which is why you said their cousins are Dominican. The Dominican Republic is a country. Puerto Rico is a territory like American Samoa and Guam. Lol, you know why? They speak Spanish. Because they are not a state. I think Puerto Rico does not want the extra taxes. But yes, they are part of the United States. People who don't know that are uninformed. The crazy thing for me are the numerous documented cases of airlines requiring a passport to fly from the 50 states to PR. It's still in the US, people. People don't pay attention in history class. Source, history teacher. I can't speak for all people, but the ones I've personally seen make this mistake do so out of ignorance. They are simply unaware or have forgotten. Considering there are people who think New Mexico isn't a state, I am not surprised many don't realize Puerto Rico is part of the US. Puerto Rico is not a state, so it's much easier to forget they're Americans compared to, say, Hawaiians. Also, a lot of Puerto Ricans have pride in their Puerto Rico-ness with an intensity you only see out of national pride. You'll rarely catch someone from NYS, California, or Florida having as much pride in their home state that Puerto Rican have in Puerto Rico. Forget? Most people never knew that in the first place. In the mainland US, we didn't learn anything about Puerto Rico or the other territories in school, so many people just don't think about it. I would guess that there are many mainland Americans who don't know that Puerto Ricans are US citizens. Also, racism.